What's up, guys? Welcome to another live stream. We're actually streaming in a few minutes. We were streaming for a few minutes accidentally on private, so no one could see the stream. But we're here in a public stream. We're doing some testing. We're back here live from San Diego, California, coming to you live, and we're talking about the new updated Uber driver partner app, your driver app. There's been some changes. It's been released to more and more markets. We're going to talk about, what changed. We're going to take a look at a few screenshots of this new driver app experience, and we're going to go over if this is really going to help. Is it going to hurt? Is it going to be the same as far as the driver experience for you? So welcome again to another live stream. Let me know where you're watching from right now. And we're going to get into it, guys. If you recall, a little backstory here, if you're watching this live or if you're watching this on the rebroadcast. This initial announcement, this new Uber app experience, was initially announced in a live stream right here on YouTube by Uber, and was watched by about 4,000 people at the time. And a lot of drivers, including myself, we were kind of thinking, oh wow, this is a big live stream from Uber. They haven't really done anything in the past. Quaker Oats, thanks for joining. And we're thinking, wow, this is going to be a rate increase. There's going to be, there's so much hype behind this live stream. We're thinking this is going to be a rate increase. And this was back in April again. And it turns out it was actually the announcement for this new updated driver experience. And there was no talk of increased rates. So we're going to consider that today. All things considered, there's some changes that we're going to talk about tonight, but there was no mention of rate increases. So we'll take it for what it's worth here. And we're going to go over, again, if these changes really matter, if it's going to help, hurt, stay the same. I'm going to go over that today. So let me know where you guys are watching from here. Quaker Oats up in Los Angeles. Thanks for joining. So guys, what does this thing look like? Okay. I know I've asked a lot of you guys. We posted a question on Instagram. If you're not following on Instagram, make sure to follow over there. We posted this question maybe on Twitter. we're on a lot of social platforms. But we basically asked you guys, do you have this updated app? And the majority of you said no. So it's interesting where we're seeing this and apparently more and more markets, but a lot of you guys, including myself, we don't have it. So it's not in all markets, but apparently it's been released to more and more markets since April. So let's show you what it looks like, guys. So here is a quick screen grab of 3 of the main screens of the updated app experience. So what you're looking at right now, this is what you're going to have if you have the new Uber app. If you don't have it yet, this is, of course, what it's going to look like. And there's a few things in this that we're going to point out tonight. So firstly, do you have this? Let us know in the live chat, or if you're watching the rebroadcast, let us know if you have this updated app. Again, I do not. I was talking to another driver today in San Diego, and she did not have this either. I know up in Los Angeles, you should have this update. I really haven't heard many other markets that have this, though. So again, if you do have this, let us know in the live chat. So a few things. You can see on the middle screen here, the layout. We have a different online button. You have a status bar at the bottom. You can see there it says you're offline. And then the dollar amount on the top, we're going to talk about that tonight. And a little bit of a layout change as well. Quaker Oats says it's been released to Seattle and Tampa, a few markets right there, guys. So let's jump into the actual breakdown from Uber. So if we take this away, then we go into our display capture mode. Let's go to the announcement from Uber. Introducing the new driver app, your partner on the road. So let's just watch this animation real quick here so you guys can check it out to see kind of what it looks like in action. Because again, we're not getting some actual screen grabs from my phone because we don't have it, but you can see here, you saw the new login screen to go online. By the way, if you're watching this live or in the rebroadcast, is this the first time you're seeing this? Or do you remember this from April? Let me know. If you remember this from the April live stream, you can type a 1 in the live chat. If this is new, you can type a 2 in the live chat. So let's go over these changes. We're going to go over these changes one by one, and I'm going to ask you guys if you think this is helpful, if you really don't care about the change, and we're going to critique each change. And for those of you guys that want a short, condensed video, we're going to release that video hopefully tomorrow. So, change number 1. And you can see the caption here, built with you for you. We've collaborated with the drivers and delivery partners. I think that's interesting. They included delivery as well, which I think is a good thing, to build a new app that helps you get ahead. See for yourself. Let's see. Number 1, get alerts on where to drive when it's busy. There's now a opportunities tab on your map to find more trips nearby. And then the Uber app will guide you there if you'd like. So what do you think? Again, I have my thoughts here on what this means, but let me know your input in the live chat. And I can see you guys right here in the live chat. Hey, Richard, thanks for joining. Richard confirms Miami as well. Quaker Oats adding acceptance and cancel percentage has been removed. Beta testing in LA, they don't have it specifically. So there's an interesting point. I appreciate that, Quaker Oats, is acceptance and cancellation percentage has been removed. Acceptance rate, does that really matter? Because remember, guys, you can't be deactivated for your acceptance rate. Acceptance rate being just that, is how many rides versus requests have you accepted. That's your acceptance rate, right? You accept 9 out of 10, you have a 90% acceptance rate. Acceptance rate really doesn't matter, since about, at least 8 months ago or more, probably more. You can't be deactivated for a low acceptance rate. However, the cancel percentage, you can be, or maybe could have been, deactivated for a cancellation. That is when, of course, you accept a ride request and then you cancel afterwards. Maybe you didn't realize that it was a long trip and you had the long trip notification, you just didn't notice. Turns out you can't drive that far, or for whatever reason you're pressed on time, you had to cancel that ride. So according to Quaker Oats here, if they get rid of cancellation percentage, that's going to be interesting. But let's talk about this. Let me give you my thoughts on this, guys. Is you now have an opportunities tab to see when there's more requests than normal. This makes me kind of feel the same way as Lyft's demand mode. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll link that video above if you're watching on the rebroadcast. Lyft's demand mode is a version, I guess, of the Lyft app. And let's see if I can pull it up right now for you guys. And I will show you this real quick here. I'll show you demand mode. So, welcome if you are just joining the live chat right now. We're going over the new driver app, and we're comparing this opportunities tab to the Lyft demand mode. Mike, what is demand mode? So, when there's areas of more ride requests, Lyft will show you this. Lyft will show you colored areas of higher demand. You can see the dark pink being the areas of the most high demand, and then and you can see right there, just reset back to the our home destination here. And it'll show you the yellow, orange areas for areas of lesser demand. Here's another example. So this makes me think of the opportunities tab, and let's go back to it. Of this opportunities tab, right? Right here. Is this not, and this is what I said in the primetime video, the demand view video, is this not just native surge in primetime? Native surge in primetime was supposed to show us areas of higher demand. That was the whole point of surge in primetime. So since these companies are moving to upfront pricing, upfront surge and upfront primetime, now they're separately showing us areas of higher demand, which is the same kind of thing as the native surge in primetime was supposed to be. So it seems like a half step back. It seems like, hey, here are areas with higher demand. There's opportunities. Uber's saying, hey, there's opportunities over here nearby. Isn't that what they've done in the past? Let me know your thoughts. Let's see if I need to catch up with you guys. Quaker Oats says also routing to surge means surge chasing, which isn't a good thing. And what they're referring to is you can see right here, guys, watch the mouse circling opportunities nearby. So if the Uber app is going to guide you to these areas of opportunity, yeah, isn't that not just chasing the surge or what may be the upfront surge, right? And we'll assume that these areas are going to be upfront surge zones because that's the way Uber's doing it now. You're still chasing it. I don't recommend doing that if it's more than 7 minutes away, but it's got to be a high multiplier, or in this case, additional bonus, we'll say, with the upfront surge. Otherwise, maybe if you're 3 to 5 minutes away, then yes, you could go into one of these areas possibly, but it's got to be pretty high to go about 7. I would never go more than 7 minutes to a zone unless you're a master in the market. You know that area is going to pop like at 2 a.m., right? So many different strategies. This is why we're going over this. There's so many different strategies with these updates versus years ago. Next update, because there's 10 updates. Around 10, I forget exactly, guys, but there's a few updates, and some are more important than the others. Let's move on. Know your next move. This status bar at the bottom of your map screen will let you know when you're in a busy area. That way, you can make an informed decision on whether to stay or keep driving. So what this is going to show you is, again, the status bar that you now have at the bottom of the driver app. As you can see here in the example, it says you're in a busy area. So if you think about this first change, the first change tells us where busy areas are. Now this status bar will tell you if you happen to be in one of those busy areas. What do you think of this status bar? And I have a pretty interesting thought on this status bar. Again, guys, welcome to the live stream here. If you're just joining, we're coming to you live from San Diego, California, going over the new Uber driver app. Let me know what you think about this status bar here, guys. So here are my thoughts on it. This status bar that's telling you you're in a busy area is a good thing. Why is that? I feel like this is a good thing because a lot of the times you get flipped around in your city. You drive to all these different areas. You may not be an expert in every single little microclimate, right, of your city. You may know the downtown, the bar area, and the sports area, right? But there's certain neighborhoods, or especially boroughs outside of your city, further away from your home base, where you typically drive. You may not be familiar with that area. So at least in this case, if I'm in a different, smaller sub-city or even a borough neighborhood, I may be in a busy area, and this status bar can at least tell me that. So maybe I don't want to deadhead back to a different area. Maybe I can at least wait. And think about this. If you are in an outskirt and it's telling you you're in a busy area, stay in that outskirt of the city. Because if you're in an outskirt of the city and it's a busy area, chances are you're going to get a ride pretty soon, because that's what Uber's telling you. And remember, if you're in the outskirt, you may get one of those passengers that wants a ride into the city for dinner, going out, convention, and there's your ride back into the city. That's the status bar. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Moving on. Interesting one right here. So track your earnings at a glance. Easily track your progress towards your daily and weekly earnings goals. You can also access your earnings summary with just a tap. How to track earnings. Tap the fair icon on your map screen, then swipe right and left to explore your earnings. That's, if you actually tap this dollar amount right here. But this is going to be on the front screen of your app, and you can hide the earnings if you want to. Obviously, if it's facing your passengers or, for whatever reason you want to hide those earnings. So it's going to show you your earnings. The good thing about this is it's your net take-home pay. It's the flat, what am I taking home after all these fees? How much am I making? So you can see here whether it's a driver, $45, and below it, it is going to show the trips completed, the amount of trips that you've completed. And remember, this is take home. So let's do some math. 45.84 divided by 6 trips. That is $7.64 per trip that this driver did. Little side question for you guys. Is that good or not? $6.74 that this driver is doing right now. What do you think? Is that good or not? And while you're answering that question in the live chat or down below in the comments, I think this is good insofar as, hey, I can see my take-home pay. I know my absolute net, right? What I'm actually taking home. Now, you can always, you can see that now because you can go in the earnings tab and it does show you the net breakdown of your fares. But at least this puts it in one spot right in front of you, one number. What is it? Now, remember, as we said in the beginning of the stream, there is, the negative opinions, experiences from drivers when it comes to pay. We understand that. Pay at anything less than $1.20 is too low. $1.50 is where it should be at nationally. In the US market, 150 has always been the magic number here on the channel. So this is not the place for that discussion. We understand there is the feelings of, hey, pay needs to increase. I get that. This we're simply talking about the app update, this new interface, and now you can see your earnings in one place, your net earnings. So if you are hitting a goal, it's easy to calculate. Let's catch up with you guys. Quaker Oats says, it tells you estimated time when the next request comes, but when too many drivers are online, it does not. That is a fantastic point. Quaker Oats adding some really good insight here on this live stream, telling us that for the busy areas, it'll tell you an estimated time when your next request comes. I think that's very smart because, like our example, if you were in those outskirts of the city, hoping for a ride into the city, I know for me, there'd be times where I'd be sitting there thinking, okay, where am I? Am I going to get a ride? This update at least tells you, yes, you're in a good area. And we all know there's certain neighborhoods and boroughs that are kind of dead. You don't get a lot of ride requests. There's not a lot of passengers in that specific neighborhood or borough. And then you have other areas, maybe they're more trendy, people are more into tech there, and it generally generates more rides. So at least that indicator, the status bar, tells you, yep, you're in a busy area, and as Quaker Oats is telling us, it'll give you an estimated time when the request comes. I think that point alone would be very beneficial. Universal title here, I see it in there. Welcome to another live stream. So guys, this is what we're going over. This is the, hey, let's catch up with you. Let's catch up with you real quick, guys. Welcome back. This is what we're going over today. Again, we have a full kind of breakdown video coming hopefully tomorrow. We're going over the new Uber driver app. I'm coming to you live right now, going over these changes. Hey, is it beneficial? Is this actually going to help you out? We're going over some of the pros and cons tonight. So there's a lot of changes. And you can see so far, we've gone over a few. We've gone over the opportunities tab. We've gone over the status bar. We've gone over the real-time earnings tracker. Moving on. Plan your day with ease, see hourly trends, set preferences, and view promotions all in one place. This is called the Trip Planner. You can see a little screenshot here. Now, guys, let me show you something back on the Lyft app. Because again, we don't have the updated Uber app. here yet. But I want to show you something, because on the Lyft app, remember, this was going to show you hourly trends. The Lyft app is currently showing us that. These companies are very lock in step with each other, guys. So you can see here, Lyft is showing you hourly trends. It's very general. I mean, you can see it says medium demand, high demand, and it gives you a time. But hey, at least there's some data based on the analytics from Lyft. So generally, you know when it's busy. And if you know this, then you can do the research of, okay, where specifically, right? I can see it's supposed to be very high demand right now. Where specifically is this demand coming from? Now, we're just looking at, this looks like Friday, actually. This is for tomorrow. You can see, okay, well, demand is really starting to peak after 5 p.m. Obviously, that's when a lot of people get out of work. And then again, it peaks around, looks like 10 p.m. Friday night. People are going out. But you can do the secondary research on that to think, okay, where specifically, right, is that demand coming from? I see more people jumping in the live stream, guys. Let's catch up with you. Richard says the power off button is in the wrong place. Uh-oh. For their example. Maybe their screenshot example there. Chocolate Slayer, thanks for joining. Appreciate it. So yeah, let's jump back into the travel planner. I think is what they're calling it, guys. Trip planner. There we go. The trip planner. So yeah, same thing. I just wanted to show you that on Lyft. You can see it's the same kind of thing. Whenever I first saw that on the Lyft app, I didn't think it was particularly helpful. It's like, okay, here's a, general graph of when there's demand. And actually, guys, back in 2015, they had this as well. If I'm remembering correctly, Uber had this same kind of chart based on time and demand. They had the same thing. It's nothing really new. That was back in 2015. So, I think they're thinking of it as like, well, if we give drivers more information, it's going to be helpful because, hey, we're pushing this information on them. Look at this, look at these trend levels. And it helps to a degree, especially if you're new to the market, perhaps. Moving on. And we are in display capture mode. Okay, good. Just making sure. So this is kind of helpful to what it's worth. I've had this happen to me, is when you're in an area with pretty spotty cell service, you can't end your ride, or you couldn't even start your ride. So again, very rural areas, guys. I came from Pittsburgh, PA. There's a lot of rural areas and a lot of trees in some of those outskirts neighborhoods of the city, and poor cell service. So somehow, I don't maybe they'll just use it from your last ping on your phone or where you're supposed to pick up based on your predicted ETA of your GPS. I don't know, but somehow they're doing it where if you do lose connection, you can end and or start the trip. So if you're in an area with bad cell service, you can continue to, again, stop the trip, end the trip, or you can start the trip. I know it's not not the biggest thing, but hey, I know some drivers up in LA, when you're going up into the hills, I hear there's certain areas where that cell service always drops. I'm sure for everybody in your market, you got those little pockets that drop cell signal. So hey, for what it's worth. Moving on. More of a formatting change still. Stay up to date. Get messages about everything from upcoming events and earnings opportunities to information about your account and new features. This is in notifications. You can see here our screenshot. Actually, you know what, guys? Let me show you something. We do have a screenshot of notifications. Okay, here's notifications. Let's turn off the webcam so you can see this a little more clearly. So this is a screenshot of the updated notifications tab. I know it's... See, the funny thing about this update, this is what we were talking about in April, is that this was 80% just a reskin, as you call it. It's a reskin. It's just a little bit of a formatting, layout, aesthetic, looks change. It's 80% of what the announcement was, with 20% of, some improvements like we've mentioned tonight. So now it's just, again, a little easier to navigate the notifications and your messages. They're all in one place. Again, not the biggest thing here. Let's catch up with you guys. Craigslist, hey, thanks for joining. Haven't seen you in a while. Coming in from Minneapolis. Chocolate Slayer says, what the heck? I haven't received the Uber update. I feel like Uber doesn't love me. Guys, a lot of us have not received the update. So we heard earlier in Seattle and Tampa have received this update. There's beta testing up in Los Angeles. But a lot of you guys kind of echoed what Chocolate Slayer just said. We really don't have this. But again, you're not really missing a bunch because a lot of this is just a reskin. It's just to make it look nicer. There's some small improvements. Hey, JGone17, thanks for joining. Where's the new app in New York City? See, guys, there's so many markets that don't have a new app. Remember, this was announced in April. This initial announcement on a live stream was announced in April. Was it not even close to being done? Did Uber discover a ton of bugs? That's a long time, guys. We're in August. And you can see right now how many markets it's not even active in yet. For primarily a reskin of the app, very interesting. Okay, and we're back. Let's jump back in here because there's a few other changes I want to show you here. And again, right now, if we can do a little timeout, we've been streaming for about 26 minutes. Quick timeout, something from you guys I need to ask. If you are enjoying the content on this live stream, if you like the content here on the channel, can you do one thing? Can you leave a like on this stream right here? Takes 2 seconds. Shows me that you guys get value in this live stream. Gets more people in here, more eyes on the channel, more people on the Your Driver Mike team. And of course, since we're on YouTube, it boosts us, it raises us up, gets us out to more people. It boosts us in YouTube's almighty algorithm. Can you please leave a like right now? Okay, there's a few seconds to do it on the live stream. Awesome, guys. Moving on, guys. A lot to talk about. Quaker Oats says Uber is doing a slow release. City by city, that's typically what they do. Yeah, Quaker Oats adding there. It's been some time, though. It's been quite the slow release. Chocolate Slayer says, what's with cargo? And I'll put a video up here going over the announcement that Cargo and I was lucky enough to partner with Cargo to make that announcement. Uber has officially partnered with Cargo. Cargo is an in-car convenience system for your passengers, having some familiar brands in there, some new brands for your passengers when it comes to snack items, beauty items, some electronics in there, and you get a commission off of the sales that you make, and you get a commission off of the free samples that you give out there. Hey, Juan, I appreciate that. Juan with the $2 donation. I don't see it. I don't see it, Juan. I can't even point at it. Right there. Where's our Philips Hue change? Did it change? I don't think it changed. Well, maybe it did change. I don't know, because it's purple changing to blue. Sometimes that's clearly still purple. We'll have to check that. Juan, I appreciate that. Thanks so much. So, Chocolate Slayer, yes, we'll link that video up to Cargo. I have used it. I've used it here in San Diego. I've used it in Pittsburgh. It does help me make more money. And there's a few objections, which I believe aren't even objections at all. It's a very clean, simple, easy, free system to use. I encourage everyone to sign up for it. And especially if your market has a wait list on it, because there's always a wait list, because this thing has a lot of demand. But hey, we have plenty of videos on Cargo. We got a playlist on that as well if you want more information. Quaker Oats says, can you do a video on the upcoming new Lyft app being released this summer? Absolutely. And again, that's why I like you guys being here, because I wasn't even aware of a new Lyft app. Should we Google it real quick? Let's Google it real quick. And it doesn't surprise me, guys. These companies are lockstep with each other. One lowers rates, the other one doesn't. As you can see here, the one Lyft we showed you tonight, Lyft had the hourly trends. And here is the update with Uber having their hourly trends. Okay, I do see that. Well, from earlier in the year, there was an announcement of a new driver app. We'll stay on it. I appreciate the heads up. I still can't believe how our Philips Hue light didn't change. Why did not change? Chocolate Slayer says, wonder how much Uber is receiving from cargo. Yeah, that I don't know. Your commission, though, as a driver is, I don't want to say unchanged because I'm trying to think of their commission structures over the last year, but I believe it hasn't changed. Don't quote me on that. And you get $1 from every sale made. You get 20%. Now I'm don't want to misquote myself, but I'll find out for you real quick. In 10 seconds, because I want to make sure I get you guys the right information, right? Aha, good thing we checked. 25%, not 20%, 25%, excuse me, commission on retail sales. And again, $1 on every order. There's bonus opportunities. There's free shipping on the products on the box. Resupply is free. You don't do any of that. It's sent to your door and you make money from it for free. It's a pretty good system. And I mean, again, there's a good hook in there. Some of those products are free to your passenger. That's a great hook. Say, hey guys, some of those products, let's not say a lot. Some of those products are free to you. They say free? Yeah. Scan the QR code, go to that website, check it out. If you're getting a free sample, you don't even have to enter any payment info. And I'll just give it to you at the end of the ride. Obviously, we're driving right now. Can't hand it to you right now. But I can give it to you at the end of the ride. It's free. So, catching up, guys. Hey, John, thanks for joining. What's this stream all about? I just found this. John, hey, for anyone joining, check this out. And I appreciate you being in here, John. Boom! This is what it's about. It's the new Uber driver app that is now in Seattle, Tampa, beta testing up in Los Angeles. It's basically a reskin. It's 80% just a reskin aesthetics, but there is a little bit, again, 20%. Yeah, it is a change a little bit. But John, this is what we're talking about today. I appreciate you joining. Quaker Oats says it's on the official Lyft YouTube page. I appreciate that. I am subscribed to Uber and Lyft on YouTube, so I'll check their YouTube for that video. Jay Gon says, I love the new look. I just, first impressions, just looking at this app. Here, let's show you one more, guys. Check it out. And it's right here. Let's do this. So here's another screenshot. And we're gonna actually go over this as well. This is the basics of Uber. So here's another screenshot. I do like the aesthetic. I mean, the look of it, the aesthetic, and Lyft is doing some pretty cool stuff aesthetically in the looks department. So I agree with you there. Chocolate Slayer says, I hope it goes well before Uber messes up. I think we're referring to cargo. But it is an exciting time for cargo and Uber. I think it's a great program. I have never advocated selling snacks in your car. I thought it looked too messy. It wasn't very professional. There's no clean way to do it. The second I saw cargo come out, I knew I wanted to be a part of it. This was a year ago, guys. This was way before the partnership, the sponsored video that we did together. As soon as I saw that, it's clean, it's modern looking. The case, right? The case is very slick, streamlined. It's a free system to you. You can't beat that price. How about $0 to you? If you haven't signed up already, we're going on. I mean, obviously, it's a program I really believe in, but we'll just leave it there. Sign up using the links below. If you haven't signed up for cargo, make sure to sign up. Just give it a try, right? If you're 51% convinced, just give it a try. And if you're 49% convinced, try it anyway. Jay Gon says, Uber is paying more attention to the New York City Uber cap than the new app. We're going to be talking about that, guys. Yes, capping the amount of drivers in New York City and the potential ripple effect, but that's going to be another video. All right, let's come back to you guys, and we're actually just going to jump right into the display capture here. Well, here's cargo. We were checking for you guys. Okay, there we go. So we went over notifications. Here's Uber Basics. You guys saw this, the screen grab there. Whether it's your first trip or your 100th, you now have a go-to resource filled with tips and informative videos. How to find a driver app basics. Tap the photo, your photo, in the top right of your map screen, then tap help above account. So unfortunately, Uber did not reach out to me to personally make their video. I've not seen those videos, but they have created their own helpful, I'm sure, professionally produced, very nice looking videos, I'm sure. But Uber has their own version of basics videos for new drivers. Of course, we have tons of videos here on the channel helping you guys know how to drive smarter, make more money, reduce expenses, talking about the Uber app, really the history of Uber and its changes. We have a whole playlist to help you out. Check out the playlists on the channel for Uber. Moving on. This one I loved. I thought this was pretty cool, guys. I didn't even think about this. Remember in the beginning of the stream, we said Uber worked with delivery drivers as well. I said, hey, that's actually pretty smart. I'm moving more and more into delivery because, with the upfront surge pricing, I'm more a fan of delivery at times. A better bike route. So now they have safer, more reliable navigation for bike delivery partners on Uber Eats. I think that was pretty smart, especially because you can see there it avoids bridges, tunnels, and highways. If I was a biker, if I was a delivery person on a bike, can you imagine being directed over a major bridge, tunnel, or I can't imagine a highway? And you're just simply trying to deliver, most likely, if you're a bike delivery driver, you're gonna be in the city hub, or immediate outskirts, right? For it to be feasible, for you. But I think that was smart because that's again something I would never have thought of, and I'm sure there's a need for that. Moving on. Navigating to higher earnings. If there's a boost zone, this isn't much. If there's a boost zone, you can tap on Let's Go, and it'll navigate you to the boost zone. You can still do the same thing yourself, right? But if you see a boost zone, obviously you know how to get there. You just drive towards it. Unless you completely don't know your streets, you're new to the city, or you just feel more comfortable having an absolute GPS route versus just using your own knowledge to drive there. I get it. So if there's a boost zone, you can click on Let's Go. It'll navigate you to the boost zone. That's it. So that's it, guys. That's the major announcements here of this new driver app. Are there any that stand out to you? Are there any that you hate? Ones that'll help you when you're driving? Do you think none of these will help? We'll go back to this animation here. Let me know. And again, I understand the pay conversation. A lot of drivers, myself included, want pay to be higher. Again, around that 150 range. So I do understand that conversation. But specifically talking about this app, do you see some good things? Do you see bad things? How about other app improvements you would like to see? Again, let's try not to make it about raising the rates. I agree there. I understand that. But are there any app improvements you would like to see that weren't included? Or even for Lyft? Let me know. Driver Lady Pro, thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Quicker Oats says the app bug is it sends you on the opposite direction of one-way streets. I see. Is that a bug they fixed or they have experienced? Like, is it happening now or did they already fix it with the bike navigation? But yeah, guys, like I can tell you in downtown Pittsburgh, when I was out there, those streets are, I described it to one passenger as taking a handful of spaghetti and throwing it on a map. And that's what the streets of Pittsburgh look like at times. Look at the streets of New York City and a lot of other, cities, and it's your grid system, right? It's a grid system. I mean, Pittsburgh, you're working with the geography a little bit. Obviously, you got 3 rivers there. You got a ton of bridges, but going up a one-way, I've done it. I've done it a few times in the city of Pittsburgh. And hey, if you're driving rideshare, you know, you're managing passengers, you're looking at the GPS, you're listening to your Bluetooth GPS. I mean, mistakes happen, guys. So, remember that. You don't go for perfection. Just provide the best service. Obviously, you want to pay attention to GPS and all of that, of course. But, it's mistakes are going to happen. Just be safe out there. John, thanks for joining. I think this is your first comment in there. Appreciate you being here. When is the Lyft scooter coming out? I just saw your other video on it. I appreciate you watching that video. And guys, just so you know here, we're slowly, we basically already did it, but we're slowly maybe looking at some rebranding to really expand the channel to talk about just hustling in the gig economy. We talked about that from our Clifftop live stream up in Carlsbad. We had a beautiful scenery. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. It's about resetting yourself for your goals for the week. And we were talking about hustling in the gig economy because the channel, it's not just about rideshare anymore. Obviously, you're seeing that with the scooters, with delivery, with Amazon Flex, but it's still about something you're interested in. It's the same thing. It's still about something you're interested in, which is making money. I'm sure that's something that you're interested in if you're looking at rideshare. It's the gig economy, right? Uber and Lyft are the gig economy. We're simply talking about other gig economy opportunities. Amazon Flex. Uber Eats, still under the Uber platform, but Uber Eats. Talking about scooter charging. So I want you to be with me on that journey to 5,000 subscribers. And again, not much is really going to change. We're not going to cover really anything too radically different. I just want you to expect diversity, right? To give you more options, because you may not be looking at Amazon Flex now. Amazon Flex may not be in your market yet, but then when it comes, you say, wow, I at least know what it is. Think how many drivers aren't even going to know what it is, so they don't sign up. Or they don't even know that it came to their market, but you will because it's been on your radar. So I appreciate you guys watching those videos. We're really expanding, keeping it in the same niche, but we're just expanding a little bit to talking about hustling in the gig economy. So we may be doing a little bit more rebranding. That's coming around 5,000 subscribers. I want to do something pretty good, pretty big for 5,000 subscribers. Hey, let's jump back over to you. You've seen enough of that chat window. Although this is a little more delayed. So let me scroll back to my chat. There we go. So yeah, I appreciate you guys being on this journey. It's about making some money, right? This is the gig economy. It's the side gig. It's the gig economy. So I want to make the most money when I'm on the road. I'm sure you do as well. Again, hey, there's some of you that may just want to do some of this stuff for fun. That's fine. But we're looking to really maximize our money for the time invested, so we don't waste our time not making enough money, right? You can see the correlation very easily. Catching up, guys, catching up. Chocolate Slayer says real passenger names and a picture, yeah, instead of made up names. And how many times have you seen that where you get a ride request and it's from some silly name on their profile? And of course on Uber, you don't get the picture. On Lyft, you do get the picture still. I'm trying to remember. I believe so, yeah. And Richard, to offline in the new Uber app, it's like 3 steps. That could be a pain if you get a request on your competing app. Yeah, if there are 3 steps, Richard, if it's more steps to log out, hey, click log out. Are you sure you want to log out? Yes. If you stay online, you could make more money. No. Then it logs you, something like that. Yeah, that is a pain, especially when you are multitasking apps. I could see that. Quaker Oats says, not really, Richard. It's a simple tap. Okay, maybe it's not 3 steps there. Again, I'm not up in LA. We're down here in San Diego, but LA is beta testing that new version. Elias, I see you in here. What's up, Mike? Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Richard says, I feel like it's more steps than the older version. Quaker Oats says, how much money do you make charging scooters? Is it worth it? Quaker Oats, I encourage you to closely check the videos that we've released recently on scooter charging, and make sure you're checking and viewing the community tab. If you guys don't know, our community tab has a ton of info you could be missing out on if you're not aware of it. I'm gonna pull it up for you guys. And what the community tab is, and this is why you want to be subscribed to the channel if you're not already subscribed, is it allows me to post even more content for you guys. So I'm pulling it up here right now for it. Here we go. Okay, so the community tab here on YouTube lets us post more info. So you can see here, we posted about the new app. We posted some good kind of training material, questions for any lime harvesters. And to answer your question, Quaker Oats, right here, you can see our earnings for July for the scooter charging. So Quaker Oats and others, if you aren't paying attention to the community tab here on YouTube, make sure you're doing so, because we're posting stuff like this that really gives you a nice breakdown. We're asking you questions. We're bringing things to you early before we do videos. Here's another earnings section right here. And you can see here we go into a little bit more of the breakdown of those earnings. So to answer your question, generally with Lime charging, you're going to get $7 to about $12 per scooter. Depends on how hard it is to find. If it's marked missing before or not, that increases the pay because someone's marked it as missing. So those are a few things, but the pay is pretty good. And we've actually just increased our threshold of scooters that we can charge. We actually doubled it from 4 to 8. The more you serve or turn in on time reliably, the higher your cap, they'll call it, is. So, all right, guys. Well, any final questions? We did want to keep this one a touch shorter to about 45 minutes or so. So that is the new Uber driver app. So it seems like most of us don't have it. And again, this was from an announcement from April, and it's it's a slow. It's a slow pilot launch. It's slowly getting there, but it is getting there apparently. So any final questions? If not, guys, I do appreciate you being here. Appreciate you being on the live stream. All right, guys. And with that, we're actually, speaking of scooters, I think we're going to go hit the road because right about now, almost, is about that time where we go look for some. Let me show you real quick. What do we got in the area? Let's see. Anything yet? Not yet. So with the Lime app, it'll show you scooters available to charge. So nothing in there yet, but they become available for harvesting in 30 minutes at 9 p.m. So guys, appreciate you being here. Any other final questions, comments, criticisms, whatever about this new driver app, put them down below in the comments if you're watching this on the rebroadcast. Again, any questions down below in the comments, guys. Appreciate you being here, and I will see you guys in the next one.